PLD, Matty Gunner, Richard-Erik Jarvi and Bidoor. Welcome to Scoundrels, Movies, News, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scoundrels.
The toothiest movie show in the far reaches of the interweb.
The toothiest, is that
Toothiest.
the
The toothiest.
That's what we're going with, huh?
That's what we're going with.
That's what we're
At first it
going
was bloodiest, but I figured it's not very bloody here.
with. The most fantastic movie show on the web.
There we go. There we go.
Oh look, we have Richard Jarvi is in the chat. What's up?
Cheers,
Jerry, what's up, bro? So, as the title suggests, today we're going to be talking vampires. PLD is not here this week. We're running the show, Jarvi and I. This is, as Jarvi said in the chat, this is a Euro party. Paul is currently in LA, shooting for the movie Trivia Schmodown. Mr. Big Time. Woo.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
big
And
time.
we're gonna be introing some. We're gonna be making some changes today because PLD
Yeah.
is not here, so I'm gonna jump on the opportunity and bring us a new game and switch around the order just a little bit.
Jarvi is the ideas guy. I'm the backstage producer. Paul is the host. Jarvi is the talent, the eye candy, the sex appeal, and the ideas guy. So Jarvi has 4 roles in one.
That's way too much, and usually my ideas get shot down. but today there's no one to veto.
No,
Matty can veto, but
I'm not going to.
He wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I would never stifle your creativity, your passion for film and talking about film, and I would never stifle a man on his platform.
This show is already feeling way better. As I was saying before, PLD is so negative lately. This is nice, actually. Actually, we're taking a dump on him right now, but we love you, PLD. Hope you can jump in the chat. Say hi.
Listening to this, he's like, "You fucking dick."
Fucking over. He's
Oh
fucking
shit,
done.
Kelly. What's up, Kelly?
Hey there,
How you
Kelly.
doing, Kelly? Christo, what's up, dude?
Christo.
Go.
Christo's getting a dog, maybe. He just went to
nice.
look for one
Nice.
in the pound.
Awesome.
He's getting a mystery dog.
Ooh, mystery
Mystery dog. 'Cause you never know what you'll get,
Mm.
It's a mystery dog when you adopt it.
dog. You saying dogs are like a box of chocolates?
you did that. You did that. It's actually a Louis C.K. bit where he talks about
Oh God!
people adopting dogs.
Just
and,
he won a Grammy?
Yeah.
What
Yep.
the fuck?
Cancel culture is bullshit. That's what it shows.
Dude, I can't believe it. Like the dude, I hate the Grammys. Like I can't
Mhm.
hate the Grammys, but that I was just like, huh? But Foo Fighters won for best rock song, so shout out
Yep.
to Foo Fighters. And so I guess we should probably get into the news. We got limited news topics. We're going to start with the negative subject. We are going to get it out of the way so we can have a positive show. Action movie legend, icon, Jarvi, Bruce Willis is retiring from acting due to, I want to say, forgive if I say this wrong, aphasia, which is what am I fucking trying to say? An affliction to the brain, which is caused by trauma to the brain, meaning you can't form sentences, and yeah, it's rough. So this sucks to hear. Obviously, you would never want this on anyone. You never want to wish something like this on anyone. But the fact that it's happening to such an icon of film, yeah, it sucks when you see someone kind of get cut down from doing anything that they love. And yeah, it's fucking
Heartbreaking.
shit, man. They're so shit. Like, I remember watching Die Hard for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It blew my mind.
Was that his first movie that you saw?
Yeah, Die Hard.
Okay. The first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What was yours?
I think the first time I saw him was actually in that weird, not weird, but that TV show. I can't remember what it was. It was like him and this female detective, and they had this sort of back and forth thing, like Castle. Like it was always like they were flirting. They never got together. It went on a little bit, and then finally they got together. The tension was broken. Like everyone was like, and that's when people stopped watching the show because they kind of hooked up. But it was some like weird comedic crime show.
There you go. Moonlighting.
Moonlighting. There we go. Something like that. I just remember I was way too young to watch it, but I remember seeing it on a obscure channel back in the day. But I'd say, so what would you say like your number one Bruce Willis role except for Die Hard? What's your next one? Like the biggest thing that you think of him?
Okay, this is a movie that is so bad that I love it.
All right.
Did you ever see Surrogates?
Oh yeah, of course.
I love that movie. It's so painfully dumb that I love it.
That's when they give him hair and like they all have this weird CGI makeup and they're like robots or some shit, right?
Yeah.
I remember. So that's your go-to. That's your go-to.
Oh hell yeah.
I think mine's Unbreakable. It's gotta be Unbreakable, and not the Sixth Sense. Very toothy today. I can't speak. It's the Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is not the movie I'd pick, but Unbreakable. Something about his. I don't know. It was right at the time where he kind of, he stopped giving his all to roles in a sense that, I mean, like he wasn't that much out there. But like Unbreakable was just like the right amount of stoic sort of calmness about him, but yet still convey like a lot of like the strongest person in the room. He always controlled the room.
Dude, you know what? I'm actually gonna change my answer. I'm gonna change my answer because I, for some stupid reason, completely forgot about the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a fun one. Matthew Perry. Amanda Peet.
Yep.
That was a fun movie.
Oh, it's such a great movie. It was Matthew Perry in his prime as well.
Yeah, we gotta do a Bruce Willis episode at some point or something when because he still has like we're just talking about it before. He has 8 movies in the can. Yeah, that are gonna be coming out. So he probably like knew this was coming at some point, and he was like, "Let me just rack up as many paychecks as I can." Before I have to say goodbye. And some of them may be straight to streaming services, but you know what? Fuck it. A paycheck's a paycheck. And probably most of them. Yeah, and I imagine like he probably still commands a very high price. Like for even like a straight to streaming movie. You get Bruce Willis. Like the dude's he's a hero, he's a legend. He's a bald man's icon. He is a bald. I mean, I can't relate to that, but you lucky son of a bitch. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna take your word for it. Yeah, it's there's PLD. There he is. What's going on? Hope you're enjoying LA, buddy. Out in the sunshine. Make sure before you come home, make sure you get some sidecar donuts and let us know how. Let me know how they are because I miss those donuts. Dude, Jarvi, whenever you do eventually come to LA with us, I have to take you to this place, Sidecar Donuts. Psycho Donuts? It's the best donut you will ever have in your life. I'm not a big donut guy, but I'd like to. You will be. You will be. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll try that one. So, but obviously this is heartbreaking news, and we'll definitely miss him in movies. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a sad day. Yeah, life happens, man, and unfortunately, bad shit happens to people when you don't expect it. Exactly. Because he's what, like pushing 70? Well, he's 60 something for sure. I'm gonna Google that real quick. He is 67. Wow, he looks great. He looks fucking awesome. You're 67? Yeah. He's around the same age as Liam Neeson, so like they're both still, kicking ass. Bruce Willis. retiring, but they
Yeah.
both look they could play like late 40s, early 50s.
I also feel like it was kind of the end was nearing soon anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was kind of like how much more could he do? Like
Yeah.
what more did he have to prove?
I think there would have still been some sort of revitalization or some role that
like the Expendables 23.
even that I would have loved to see him in that, because at the moment we don't kid ourselves, we know his movies haven't been like the same quality as they used to be, so I would have loved to get him with another big star or something.
Jerry, when you're a billionaire, the level of steroids that you can get your hands on is at a different level. Now Vince McMahon is like 95, but he is still the most jacked dude I've ever seen in my life. Once you're a billionaire, the HGH just goes straight into your bloodstream. But let's move on to some more positive news.
Let's do it.
Positive for me, I guess, because I'm gonna be at Celebration when this shit kicks off. Kenobi, the premiere of Kenobi, the date has been moved from Wednesday to the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of one episode, we get two. Two episodes. 2-episode premiere. Now, I get that this messes up the whole 45th anniversary. I get that. But at the same time, it leaves room for something that we may not know is about to be announced. They've talked about all these secret projects that are potentially happening, like a High Republic movie, maybe an Old Republic movie, maybe. Like we could be about to get something dropping completely out the blue.
Do you think that's what it is?
I have a feeling that they've moved it to the Friday to make the most of the celebration, the amount of people that are going to be there, because it is damn near almost sold out. And the fact that there's so much talk that there's so many projects about to drop. I mean, we've got Mandalorian season 3, we've got Andor, we've got why am I blanking? Acolyte, Ahsoka. Donald Glover's been in the news recently talking about the Lando scene.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe a panel or something on the Thursday or the Friday, Donald Glover makes an appearance, and they say, "Hey, here's a sizzle reel of Lando. Check this out."
Is the question, is the Lando thing still happening, or is it kind of?
Yeah, he tried to be coy about it on I can't remember what talk show it was the other day, but he basically just said, "Yeah, it's happening."
Okay, good.
In not those specific of words, he basically said, "Yeah, I'm working on a lot of things right now, and that's pretty much one of them." It's like, oh, okay. So you're working, because I think he's just finished with the new season of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be open to doing other things.
That's good news for you, Matty.
Yeah.
Because that could only mean the return of a certain someone.
Maybe. Who knows?
It's gotta. Come on. He's gotta be the main villain there.
But
we're of course talking about Darth Maul at this point.
Yeah, of course. Like who else? Why do you think my background's red? But so they're only moving the premiere to the Friday. They are not moving the show as a whole over onto Fridays, which I kind of I thought they would, because Miss Marvel comes out on June 8th. So there's going to be some kind of overlap, unless there's an announcement to come that they're going to push Miss Marvel back. I thought they were going to go with the Marvel shows on Wednesdays, Star Wars shows on Fridays. That was one of my first thoughts when they announced that the premiere was shifting to a Friday. Would I enjoy that? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But I also think to do that, I like this close, because we're only like a month out.
Yeah,
month and
that's crazy.
And a bit out.
We're getting so close now.
It's just kind of like, it doesn't seem right, especially because it lined up so perfectly to launch on the 45th anniversary. It's like, why would you move it unless you've got something else planned for that spot?
Don't know. It's exciting. It's intriguing,
Mm.
but well, my first reactions when I read this news was I didn't really care about like what this is preluding to or something like that. But I was just thinking, yes, this is gonna be a 2-hour movie of Kenobi as an intro. Just like this, the first 2 episodes, you can watch as a freaking movie. I'm pretty sure.
I hope that the episodes are as long as the Moon Knight episodes, because apparently the
Well,
longest
they
episode of
promised
Moon,
though.
yeah, apparently the longest episode of Moon Knight is like 51 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping we get some nice long episodes.
I thought that's what it was. I thought that was like 50 plus episodes, 50 plus minutes for each episode. So that kind of would.
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, there's all these speculations that they've shot like 9+ hours worth of footage. So
Mhm.
like, but that's all speculation. We don't know until it drops. But Jerry here, I thought they moved to Friday because of Moon Knight. Am I wrong about that? I'm not sure. But also to me, it makes sense to have it drop on the Friday because of Celebration.
Mhm.
Like,
Definitely.
a lot of people are going to be getting into LA on the Wednesday. I know I'm getting into LA on the Wednesday. I know the Damons were planning on getting into LA on the Wednesday. Like, a lot of people are getting into LA on the Wednesday. So having it drop that day, probably that's another thing. People be like, oh, people are going to be traveling in Celebration. Why drop it then when we can do it Friday, when we can potentially have like every hall in Celebration have like a screen and say, right, everyone go to any room in the convention hall and we're going to watch it all on the screen.
Mm.
Like,
That's
when it drops at
exciting.
midnight. That would be
That's-
sweet. Like,
Is that
watching
where
it
you're gonna, or is that where you're gonna watch it?
if they're doing that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I'll probably go back to my hotel room and like take it all, do another watch through and
Mm-hmm.
divulge it all again. And then go nerd the fuck out the next day.
That's awesome. I'm so jealous.
Okay, so should we get into our review of the week?
Yeah, because this main topic that Matty thought up for today is our top 3 favorite vampire movies, and we're doing that because of a certain vampire movie called Morbius. That's Matty's favorite actor, Jared Leto, in his in one of his. Well, was that your favorite villain played by your least favorite actor? Was that the combo?
Favorite Marvel character, like villain, hero, anti-hero. Like, Morbius is my favorite across the board. And then they announced he's being played by Jared Leto.
So jump right in. What'd you think of the movie?
How can I say this as politely as possible? You go first. You go first.
You're not gonna like my review. I thought the movie was fine, just fine.
Oh, okay.
It was
I thought you guys said you loved it. I was like, whoa,
No,
I'll cancel this show right now.
Not by any stretch of the means that I love it, but it was completely fine, and I was expecting a train wreck. Like, I was expecting Fantastic Four, I was expecting Bloodshot, something like that. Me and my buddy were at the cinema. We're like, it's getting started. It's actually pretty fucking cool. The intro is cool. We're getting into these characters. Wow, like, I'm like, dude, that's pretty damn good. He's like, yeah, I don't get what the fucking bad reviews are about, and we're watching it, we're enjoying it. Yeah, no, it gets kind of stale at the like last third, but it's still a fine movie. I think that's all I'll say. I can't say it's good. It's fine.
I liked most things other than the obvious. I just don't see Jared Leto as Michael Morbius. I don't. I from reading the comics and everything, and I get why like a lot of people be like, comic book nerd, but like, yeah, I have, and like, I didn't get the tortured soul story that it should have been. Like, I get that Jared Leto's meant to be the leading man, so he's supposed to have this certain je ne sais quoi, like
he was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Very cool.
The witty one-liners. I'm like, well, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's not him. Did he look great? Fuck yeah, he looked awesome. Long hair, super jacked. Like, he looked great. but a lot of the effects kind of threw me, like the teleportation movement. Like to me, that looks super budget, and
Really,
like it took me out of it. The whole
the purple sort of hue and
the purple mist, like I didn't get it. I thought the echolocation stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's like his version of the Spidey sense.
that was like their trailer shot as well. Like, oh, this is the coolest effect.
Okay,
We gotta use that in the trailer.
All right, I'm just gonna go straight into like my biggest point.
I
Where
know what
the
it is.
fuck was half the trailer footage?
In the after credits.
No, it wasn't even in the movie.
Which
Like,
part you're talking about?
The bit where like him and Michael Keaton, spoiler. This
Right.
is a spoiler review, by the way. So
Yeah.
spoilers. Bit where him and Michael Keaton are supposed to meet, not in the movie. The line where he says, "I'm just
After
kidding.
credits.
It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service," not in the movie.
Yeah, he just said Venom, right?
Yeah, he just said, "I am
Venom.
It's like, okay, like why are you trying to set up Venom? Are you trying to frame Venom? Like what do you get out of that? Like, and like the whole. Okay, we'll save the end credits because that's my biggest fucking credits.
There I'll join you. There I'll join you.
I thought this movie was okay until I saw the end credits and I just threw my hands up in the air. I was like, what the fuck? Like you almost kind of you didn't stick the landing, you just kind of like slid in like under the radar.
Like crash landed on the river somewhere, just barely.
It was like, you know, when like a plane is like just about to land and you think it's all gonna be
it's
okay.
like, oh fuck.
Then the wheels just come out from underneath it. Like right as it's about to touch down, the landing gear just comes completely off. And I was like, well, we're fucked.
And so close. It's like you're nearly there. You could have passed for a fine landing, but it.
I did think Matt Smith was great though.
Okay, so that was my next question. Like, what did you think of the side characters?
I thought Matt Smith was great, but I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan.
Nope, me neither.
We'll probably have to like ask POD more about his performances in Doctor Who. But like he's always been a very talented actor. For some reason, he gets really great TV roles. But that I don't know, like his agent just seems to shit the bed for some reason, and like he gets like pretty shit movie roles.
Yeah, mediocre
great TV roles.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, he was the saving grace of this movie.
Oh, really?
He's the best part about it.
You didn't think he got like kind of weird when he finally got the powers? Like he went so over the top at that point. I don't know.
But that's him though. That's Matt Smith, and I felt like it wasn't as forced as it was from Jared Leto.
Okay.
Like, and what the hell was Tyrese even there for?
No reason.
Like,
we need a big forehead. Insert Tyrese. The Rock joke. I don't know. And
you had his partner, who forgive me, I forget the actor's name. Like he was just there for like witty jokes that weren't even that funny. And like Tyrese was there just to brood. And it's like if like him and Jared Leto's character types should have swapped. Like Jared Leto should have been like the depressing, broody, tortured soul. Because like he's a fucking doctor. He took the Hippocratic oath. Like he's supposed to help people, to save people. But all he can think about is killing them. Like he has a thirst for blood. He has a thirst to kill people. But at the end of the day, he's still a doctor. He still like swore the Hippocratic oath. So it's that balance of like a beast and man. You know, the old saying, "He who makes a beast out of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man." Like I just didn't get that, and I left kind of cold towards a character that I love very dearly, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, and that's the worst part. Like, I didn't love it, I didn't like it, I didn't hate it. Like, I just felt nothing. I felt nothing, and that's the worst thing.
That is the worst thing, actually. Yeah, because you got no passion towards it whatsoever.
Yeah, and I felt like there was no passion from Jared Leto, and like reading all these like even the directors come out and said he would do because obviously he does like all his method acting shit.
Yeah, he's very
Like,
method usually.
He came out saying it took him like 45 minutes to go take a piss because he was constantly like hobbling to the toilet, like pretending he was actually disabled. Like that's an actual thing. Daniel, I forget the director's name. The thing is, like,
the director of Morbius.
Yeah, what's his name?
Daniel Espinosa.
Daniel Espinosa. See, I thought it was that, but I was like, hold on, I swear that's a character on Lucifer. So I may have got my wires crossed here. But like Daniel Espinosa came out and said, look, that's how method he was. That's how uncomfortable and how annoying. Jarvi, you've been on a film set. Like, how annoying must that have been? Like, put yourself in those shoes to have an actor take 45 minutes between shots to take a piss because he's in character. He's method acting being disabled.
That's what I did while I was on set, actually, because my costume for an extra was full on SWAT gear.
Mm-hmm.
Took forever to get out of that one.
But you didn't have a choice. Like
no, I know.
He's an able-bodied individual that could have walked up, gone for a piss, come back, and then done the next take. They had to agree with him for him to use a wheelchair.
That's weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not going to defend him. I've got nothing against Jared Leto, but I do get it, and this was a weird way to play the character. So I'm going to ask from you, what was Morbius like? What was the comic book like atmosphere like? Was it like very bloody and gory, or was it more on the safe side like this movie?
In some runs, like not always. Like you would have like when he was a villain in Spider-Man, where he was very much Morbius the living vampire. But then you would get into like his solo runs, and you would see more of the human and Michael Morbius, and that was what kind of drew me in, because I'm a sucker for a tortured soul story like that. Though, yeah, see what I did there? But like, and I just didn't get it. It's kind of like the same argument that we had with Andrew Garfield at first, like him as Peter Parker. Like, he's too cool. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed to be like this dorky, nerdy kid. Now, like I look back at him, like actually,
that
was Andrew,
awesome.
And like I am not gonna be like the one to slander Andrew Garfield. I don't want like I don't want the Death Squad coming after me. Also, so super special guest in the chat.
Sari. What's up, Sari? And Stardrew, great to see you as well.
And Stardrew, good to see you as always, Stardrew. But
so how many stars from 5 for Morbius?
2.
2. All right, that's still below average. That's
for me. Like when I do my Letterboxd reviews, I do 1 was god fucking awful, 2 was bad, 3 was okay, 4 was good, 5 was incredible.
All right.
To me, this is a 2. Like I put this on the same par as the 3rd Underworld movie.
Okay. Well,
actually, no, I take that back. The last one.
As Underworld they're still. We'll get there.
I'm actually gonna go and put it on the last one, like the one they just bought out a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Not Awakening. Was it Awakenings?
I think it was Awakening. No, it was Blood Wars.
Blood Wars. That's
Blood Wars.
That's one.
I would put Morbius on the same level as Underworld Blood Wars. I was actually, shout out to my friend Andre Feely. I was talking to him about Morbius before we went live because he hasn't seen it yet. And I said to him, I would put it on the same level as Underworld Evolution, thinking that Underworld Evolution was the last one. And then I went and checked. I was like, oh shit, no, I put it on the same level as the second one. Oh shit. Yeah. That one was pretty good. But sorry, Feely, you're going to watch that movie. You're going to fucking hate me for it. But yeah, I this movie did nothing for me.
That's all right.
Or rather, the character did nothing for me. And when it's your favorite character, dude, that fucking sucks. Like, imagine if this had been a Darth Maul solo movie.
No.
And like it had done the same. Oh, I'd be in tears. Like, I would probably never watch a movie ever again.
I think that's exactly why you are as negative towards it as you are, because you're very familiar with the character. I went in complete. I know nothing about Morbius, and it was fine. I don't care. It's fine. I'll forget about this movie tomorrow.
I was talking to someone about that, and they said go in with the expectations of a 90s vampire action movie.
Yeah,
And
so
that's what
perfectly said.
that's what I went in with. And I was
Mm.
just like, even that, I was just like, oh, well, this is no Van Helsing. This is no Blade.
No.
Like, this is no Lost. This is definitely no Lost Boys.
Dude, Van Helsing is actually pretty fucking awesome.
Dude, Van Helsing's great. Kate Beckinsale should just be every fucking vampire movie.
Kate Beckinsale in black latex.
Don't. This is not an after dark stream.
I know we're not supposed to objectify like that, but I mean, come on.
Morbius is a vampire hunter movie. No, it's a dog shit movie, Stardew. That's what it is.
It's fine. I gave this actually quite shamelessly. I gave this a 3 out of 5.
That's okay.
It was fine.
That's fine. I think you do have a point though, in that like I do have such an emotional attachment to the character. Mm-hmm. The fact that I was left feeling so cold by it, I was just like,
I think we gotta we gotta move on. We gotta move on to the main topic of the show. If there's nothing more you want to say about the movie,
do you want to quickly shit on the post credits?
I'm feeling like a shit.
I get the feeling they didn't actually tell either Michael Keaton or Jared Leto what was happening in those scenes. I think they just gave them the lines and said, say this a bunch of times. We'll just use the best version. Because
it was just a setup for the whole movie. Was actually just a setup for what comes next.
Spoiler for the end credits. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Michael Keaton as Adrian Toomes shows up in a prison cell at the end of the movie, and his only line is look around. Then he says something like,
let's do some good.
No. That was in the second one. It was like, I wonder what the food's like in this joint.
Okay.
Or something like that. And I was just like, really? Like a character who, when we last saw you, you were so focused on providing for your family.
Yeah,
for your wife
he wasn't a
full-on
villain. He wasn't a full-on villain.
It's like now, like you're just reduced to like witty one-liners, and then you get the thing in the second post credits. How the hell did he get a hold of Michael Morbius at 3 o'clock in the morning to just drive him out? Why don't you just like meet him at his lab? Why did you have to like get him to drive all the way out there? And then he lands in his full vulture regalia. And
where did he get that? That's my question.
Where did he get that? I get he's a kind of a resourceful guy, but like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then he just says, a bunch of us guys should team up and do some good. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, could you be any more like
obvious?
Sinister Six. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. Right in your face. It's just like, okay, cool. You don't need to beat us over the head with it.
That's what I wanted most out of this movie, and we only got that in the after credits. I wished for more of a setup.
I'm worried about the Craven film. I really am worried about the Craven film. I know it's Aaron Taylor Johnson playing Craven, but like, I'm genuinely worried for that film.
Yeah,
if it's the same level as this, like,
the Sonyverse is flaky. It's flaky. It's very not even flaky. What's the word? Streaky. But
they have the collaboration with Marvel. I don't get why they have to be so like standalone.
Not on these ones.
With it.
Not on these ones.
But they can just reach out and say, hey, like, help us. At least help us write this. Like,
they're too proud for that.
You guys set the template. When we have this incredible working relationship with Spider-Man, help us build out the universe around it.
That's what they're probably banking on now that they've gotten all that goodwill from Marvel. They're trying to spread out on their own again, hoping that people will come. Because Morbius is probably going to make money.
It's making money. It's number one in the box office.
Yeah, so there you go.
I think a lot of it might be people being like, let me go see this because it can't be as bad as people are saying, right? I think a lot of it is that. And
And it's not as bad. It's not
I'm all
as
for that. I'm all for people deciding on their own what they think about this movie. Personally, it did nothing for me. It was like you said, it was fine. It didn't offend me, but I'm not gonna watch it. I'm probably not gonna watch it again.
Just watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
As many
I mean
times as
we're
possible.
getting the first part of that at the end of the year.
That's what I mean by streaky. Like they've got Spider-Verse, arguably one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made.
I don't
And then
get
they're making Morbiuses.
why they can't take that creative freedom that they take from Spider-Verse and apply it to the live action stuff. I don't understand.
Streaky.
Very streaky. Very streaky. Okay. Should we go into these the main topic then? Because I think we've said about all we can say, unless you have something you want to add.
Nope. That's fine. We're done with Morbius.
Literally, I'm done with Morbius.
we are pretty much done with Morbius, but we are just gonna be revving up towards our main topic of the show. And Matty, yes. I'll give you the reins to intro why you picked it. What's your relationship with it?
I picked this because of obviously because of Morbius coming out. And I actually love a lot of vampire movies from the 90s and the early 2000s, like an Underworld or a Van Helsing. And like even the bad Lost Boys sequels that came out, like the third one that has the werewolves in it. I thought they were pretty good. Not gonna lie. I love like vampire movies are supposed to be kind of corny. Not Morbius corny, but like you go back and you watch like Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like it's corny as shit, but I love it so much. So
there's something weird about them, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. They're like B movies, but they're still, I don't know, they're like great B movies.
Even worse. Some of them are like CD movies, but they're still amazing. They're still great and super entertaining to watch. So we're gonna rank our top 3 vampire movies. Yep. Joe, why don't you go first?
All right, my number 3, and this I have my 3. So first, I will just intro how I picked them. I picked one that is a full-on horror movie. I picked one that is a pretentious artistic choice of a vampire movie, and I picked one that's just cool as fuck. So I'm gonna start. Oh my god, I'm still undecided. All right, my number 3. I'm gonna start with. All right, I'm gonna start with the horror one, which could be easily my number 1. But it's 30 Days of Night.
Oh yes,
that's the raw and gory horror type of vampire movie.
Yes, dude.
Very, very simple premise. Like just trap your heroes in like a snow western Alaskan wilderness where there's like no sunlight for 30 days. That's already a great premise for whatever type of movie. You don't even need vampires. You insert vampires into this, you kind of have a story that makes sense now. Vampires would show up because there's no sunlight and there's no way to escape them. Now that gives you a very terrifying premise already. And I'll be honest, I've never seen vampires scarier than in 30 Days of Night.
Ben Foster is really good in that movie.
I actually completely forgot. No, yeah. Oh no, I figured that he's one of the he's the one guy who runs away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost unrecognizable. And the vampires are truly like they kind of reinvented the vampire look as well. They came, all of them, like their pointy teeth thingy, the toothy look, and they just made them like raw animalistic, bloodlusty creatures. And I think that's why I love this movie so much. It's such a simple movie to just pop on, watch Hartnett and Melissa George have great chemistry together. And they don't, at the end of the movie, they don't actually defeat the vampires. They just survive the month. And that's kind of original, if you ask me. And that's one of the reasons why this is my top 3.
Nice. Very good one.
Mystery. I think that's actually made after a comic, if I'm not mistaken. 30 Days of
Yes,
Night.
yes, it is. 30 Days of Night is
Mhm.
up for a comment. I've never read it,
Mhm.
but I know it is. Okay, I'm gonna go with my number 3. Mine is also more of a horror, but
Mhm.
it's vampires, and it's actually a European movie. It is the original Let the Right One In.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I had that on my list at first.
Just the whole story about like the little girl and like he doesn't
Mhm.
know that she's a vampire and everything. I'm like, this is a really fucking interesting take on like a vampire movie. Like because we're so used to like seeing like creepy old dudes as a vampire,
Mhm.
but here you have a little girl. Like
And a
this
little boy.
and a little boy. Like these these images and these symbols are like pure innocence.
Mhm.
And it turns out they're fucking vampires.
And it's a weird movie as well. They kind of show like growing up. They kind of touch on puberty a little bit, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like uncomfortable at
Mm-hmm.
times, but still like super. It's pretty gory. It's pretty brutal.
I haven't watched the remake. I'm kind of
Nope, me
scared to
neither.
watch it. I think
Nope.
it's called like Let Me In or
Yeah.
something.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm too scared to watch it just because this movie is so good.
It is. I agree. I'm exactly in the same boat as you. Like
Mm.
I don't want to watch. I think it's Chloe Grace Moretz who plays the female
What
lead.
in the remake?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and apparently it's not a
I don't know
bad
how I
movie,
feel
but
about that.
still, I don't need to watch it because I feel
I
like
don't know,
this is the
dude.
Swedish version, right?
Yeah, this
Hmm.
I very much prefer the Swedish version. As hipster as that is for me to say.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
What is your number 2, sir?
All right, let's get into my pretentious pick now. The critically acclaimed epic historic drama type. So this is Interview with the Vampire. I
Oh,
was I was thinking long and hard like about this movie. Should I put this on my list? Because it's
first off, rest in peace to Anne Rice. I like the whole Vampire Chronicles. If you have never, if any of you
I
have never
haven't read
read
them.
bro, they are so good.
Yeah.
They are so good, and I know they plan to do a revival and a reboot of everything.
Hmm.
Obviously now with Anne Rice gone, I don't know what the situation is with that, but yeah, dude, this is a great choice.
It's really the movie is very like I just watched it today. It's really
Oh,
pretentious
mm-hmm.
and it's like sort of like overacted. It's a little bloated. It's like but it's freaking Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Like come on. And the story you can feel like the history is very rich. That's like spans
Oh
over
yeah.
a great period of time and you feel the time as well. It's only a 2-hour movie, but it feels like, and not because it's boring and long, it feels like it's a 3-hour movie because sort of the story, everything that it's built up, it feels like you're going on this epic journey with them. And that's a really important thing when you think about vampire movies. You never really get to sort of experience their immortality in that way, that really long period of time, which in this case, it feels like they're doing very well. And you insert Kirsten Dunst in there,
Wasn't this her first role?
it's one of her first ones, and she's a freaking movie star, like
Yeah.
next to those two giants. So yeah, this this film I like to categorize as sort of put on Mozart and drink a glass of red wine, and then you watch Interview with the Vampire.
That scene where they think they've killed the star, and then they walk back in and he's playing the piano.
Tom Cruise is so fucking evil. He's so perfect.
He's so good in this role. And then like you see him at the end and he's like all shriveled up and everything. It's just like,
Oof.
and he's all broken. It's like, I wish he'd had a little bit more of a French accent because Lestat is supposed to be like a French nobleman.
Yeah.
So that did kind of take me out of it a tiny little bit, but that's such a like a little nitpick. But like just that scene where they walk in and she's like behind Louis because like they hear the Mozart playing, and it's just like, oh shit. But yeah, dude, Tom Cruise is amazing. A lot of people give him shit for that movie. I don't know why. He's really good. He's really good in that movie.
It's weird. Like I said, it's sort of like overacting, but then again, it's so fucking sweet what he's doing. Like,
but you need that
like sweet in a
movie,
like
right?
fuck yeah kind of way.
You need a bit of overacting in a vampire movie.
True.
It adds to that like corniness. That
exactly
sweet
exactly.
corniness. And then obviously you've got the Guns N' Roses right at the end.
Really?
As he's driving over the bridge, you have the Guns N' Roses song kicking.
Okay.
I think it's "Live and Let Die."
I can't remember the ending that well.
Mm.
I'll be honest. But yeah, that's my number 2. What's yours, Matty?
My number 2. Actually, I had to change it on the fly. Your one was gonna lead into my number 2, but your number 2 leads into my honorable mention, which we'll give our honorable mentions at the end of the list. My number 2 is the original Underworld.
That's my number 1.
Okay,
that's my number 1.
Let's talk about it then. Kate Beckinsale. Woo! Woo!
Yes, sir.
Like Jarvi hasn't
Actually
given his honorable mention. Give us time, bro. Give us time.
Blade and Underworld, very similar in vibe. And I was wrestling which one to pick.
And I mean, look at the other members of the cast that you have, like Bill Nye as Victor.
Oh my god.
Just
much to discuss, Selena and I.
And it's like the bit, not to mention, okay, the bit at the end where he's like talking about Michael being an abomination, and then they're fighting in the sewers underneath. And then he just bares his fangs. This was like after Michael's like done the hybrid transformation, and they're like in each other's face, and like he just hits the fangs. It's like It's like, whoa, like you've gone from like this sweet old man to this crazy vampire like that.
He's the strongest of them all, like the wisest, the strongest, the greatest of them all.
Yeah, and you have the whole story of, I guess it's kind of like you have Alien versus Predator, Freddy versus Jason, and in this you have vampires versus werewolves.
Yeah, has that ever been done before, though?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah, so that's a big thing that they did there, and that expanded the lore in a really cool way. It gave like both sides so much history, so much more history than we're used to.
You have that it was shot in Hungary as well, so like you have that, like all that dark gothic architecture, the way it's shot, like how dark and gloomy it all is.
It's very dark.
And to me, the standout of this movie is the reason I have a dog named Lucian.
Oh, really?
This is who I named. Yeah, this was who I named him after, was Michael Sheen in this movie. Just that one bit at the start where the two Lycans are fighting.
Oh yeah.
And he comes walking in, and he just goes, "You're acting like a pack of rabid dogs." It's just like and they all just stop and turn. They're like, "Oh shit, we've messed up."
Yeah.
And they're like, they all think he's dead. They all think like, I can't remember the other vampire guy, the shit weasel one.
Craig, not Craven. Kravitz, some fucking
whatever his name.
Yeah. Never mind.
I forget his name, but he's the shit weasel. But like they all thought that he killed Lucian, and then Lucian just comes back and he's just like, you thought.
Craven. His name is Craven.
Is it Craven? Okay.
It's Craven.
There you go. And then he just comes back. He's like, you thought I was dead. And then everyone's like, oh crap, like we gotta deal with this guy again. And then they humanize him so well, because it's like he fell in love with Victor's daughter, and he just wanted to save her by becoming this creature so he could protect her. And Victor just saw it as an abomination, and he had his own daughter, as they say, burnt to life, because she loved a Lycan, because she loved, as essentially, like as Lucian himself says, a rabid dog. And we know from the third movie, like the Lycans were the slaves to the vampires.
Rise of the Lycans. Yeah.
So what was your most favorite, other than Kate Beckinsale in the cat suit?
It's gotta be the world building in this one, and this is why I was so wrestling with Blade, because Blade has a really cool backstory as well. But I think Underworld is kind of unmatched in the way that they brought in the Lycans and the way they depicted these two. Well, let's call them races, or I don't know. You can call them races.
I think races.
You can. All right, because like the Lycans are these sort of brutish, strong, super loyal type of like canines, let's say, and then the vampires sort of these bourgeois sort of I don't know, high society living in their mansions,
Right.
in their covenants, stuff like
Very
that. That's
political.
yeah, very like technically savvy and like everything that Celine does, and like tries the new weapons, the tech. There's some sort of like James Bond shit in there, like Q
Right,
showing
with the
her the
UV
stuff.
bullets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really
dude,
cool idea.
so good.
Really fucking cool idea. So everything about that, and also the look and feel, which is pretty much taken from the Matrix, though. I don't know if you noticed, like there's actual sound cues exactly from the Matrix.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I love the soundtrack to this movie, like the needle drops that they've used.
It does this like violin, like screeching thing.
Okay.
Like when Celine is like hacking, looking for Scott Speedman's character, she's like finds out his apartment number. Then he zooms in on the computer screen, and it just goes through. The screech comes on, and it goes to the hallway that's really like badly lit, worn down hallway, exactly from the Matrix. Exactly from the Matrix. So you can tell that they definitely took cues from that.
Is that not just like an action movie trope though, of like the enhance the image and then actually go in?
Yeah, but it's the music as well. And like this sort of, I don't know, Matrix had this like green filter on everything, sort of greenish filter. So very dark, shady looking streets.
I think they definitely wanted to pick up the industrial goth vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And carry it over. My favorite part about this movie, like I said, like all the James Bond-ness to it, like when she goes into the death dealer's like shooting range and stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, this is silver nitrate, go straight into the bloodstream. I was like, what am I watching here? This guy is like Q, but like for vampires. This is awesome. And then
it's so cheesy, like you said it yourself. It feels like a B movie, but it's like one of the greatest B movies ever, and that's why it's my number one as well. Like something about it, it's kind of dumb, but it's still kind of good. Can't explain it.
Yeah. What do you think of the sequels?
I'll be honest, I haven't watched the sequels since like I think at least 5 years. I haven't seen Blood Wars. Okay. The last one I saw was Awakenings.
Awakening and Blood Wars, like you don't need to watch. I feel like they're kind of there just to be there. I know they for the longest time they talked about doing another one, and I think Kate Beckinsale's just been like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go do movies for Amazon and be super hot on Instagram."
Yeah.
And
job well done.
Job very well done. And like she's like dating all these fucking like 25-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Dude, whenever I'm scrolling through her stories, like you see the people that follow you and you follow, you can see if they like the same stuff. Whenever I go through Beckinsale stuff, it's like Matty Gunner like this. I'm like, there we go. He's already seen this.
Yeah. And she looks great. I think she's like,
of course. She's 50 plus.
She's like 50 plus. Like she looks fantastic. She might very well be like a legit vampire.
Oh, for sure.
I think as I said, my stand-up performance in this movie is definitely Michael Sheen.
Oh, it's Bill Nighy for me though, but I do get it.
Bill Nighy, he's such a
he steals the show. He steals the show,
especially when you find out the whole thing of like how he killed Celine's family and then like tried to raise Celine as his own daughter. And like lied to her the entire time. It's like, you piece of shit.
It's a very intricate story, and the Kate Beckinsale Van Helsing.
Right.
Yep.
See, Lego, you get us. You get us. This is why you're a very valued member of this chat, because you understand us, our deepest core values. Okay, should I get my number one?
I'm curious.
Are you waiting with bated breath?
I hope it's a B movie. Please tell me it's a B movie.
It kind of is, I think. But it's also in my top 5 movies of all time.
It's Lost Boys, isn't it?
It's Lost Boys. Yeah.
Okay.
Solely because of the original Sexy Sax Man.
I'm going to ruin this for you. I have not seen The Lost Boys.
Johnny.
I have not seen it. I know I have major gaps. Never seen The Lost Boys.
Of all people,
I
They've
know.
never seen The Lost Boys. A lover of cinema and film like yourself has never seen Lost Boys.
Mm-mm.
There was a
For some reason, it escaped me.
There was a question that came up in a movie trivia Schmodown match like last year about Lost Boys.
Sorry.
What town it was on. I was screaming at the TV because like I don't know very much about a lot of movies. Lost Boys I love so much that like, oh dude, like the song Cry Little Sister. Anytime I hear that song, it comes on shuffle or anything, it just hits me in the heart, and I'm just like, it just takes me back to the first time I ever watched The Lost Boys, and it's like like a vampire coming of age movie of like these guys like moved to a new town, running with the wrong crowd, and that wrong crowd just so happens to be a bunch of vampires. Kiefer Sutherland is fucking incredible in it. Like this is probably like my defining role for Kiefer Sutherland. Yes,
it's an 80s movie, right?
It is an 80s movie, and yes,
Yeah,
Sexy
Jason
Sax
Patrick
Man is
in there.
Wait, hold on. Sexy Sax Man is Tim Capello, who played for Tina Turner. He's in her music video she did for Mad Max. I did not know this.
Thunderdome.
So
Yeah, Tina Turner is in Thunderdome.
So Jarvi, there is a guy in this movie who is like shirtless and he's like super buff and he's just playing the saxophone to like this crowd of people, and it's glorious. He's like all oiled up and everything. Like you'll love it.
Sold. Yes, oily physiques. I'm watching this now.
There's just like so many iconic images in this movie, like where they're hanging upside down underneath the railway bridge. They're riding across the beach on the dirt bikes. You have the scene where they offer Michael the noodles, and it turns like they're like, "Don't you like worms, Michael?" And then he looks down and it's worms, and then he looks away again and it's fucking noodles. It's just so good. It's such a good movie. Like I cannot recommend it enough.
It feels very, I don't know. It feels like 280s for some reason. Like
that's the best part.
Yeah.
And Corey Feldman, like you can't go wrong with Corey Feldman. I know I know the dude's a bit of a weirdo these days.
I know the name. I know him. I know him, of course.
He's a bit of a weirdo these days, but yeah, and like you have these two kids played by Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, who are like these teenage vampire hunters, and they run a comic book stand on the Santa Clara Pier, and they run in with the little brother of Michael, who's the main character, who becomes a vampire. They're like, dude, your brother's turned into a vampire. This is what you got to do. They like start teaching him like how to like you kill a vampire with like the stake and everything. And there you go, the Frog Brothers. Thank you, Lego. The Frog Brothers are legendary comic book nerd vampire hunters. Yes, that's it. The Frog Brothers. I couldn't remember the name for the life of me. But Jarvi, trust me, if you watch The Lost Boys, you will love this movie. All right, imagine how can I put you like Stranger Things, right?
Of course.
Stranger Things, but with vampires.
Okay.
Like the whole like coming of age of Stranger Things with vampires.
The way that you just talked about like the comic book store or something, it reminds me sort of like a Kevin Smith twist to a vampire movie.
I think Kevin Smith wishes that he could have come up with something like that.
Okay. All right. Joel Schumacher is the director.
That's not a bad thing, Lego. That's not a bad thing.
No. Right.
But even the two sequels, I think, are great. But they are so bad, they're awesome.
Got it.
Okay, so let's give our honorable mentions then. If you want to go first.
Yeah, I was. It's got to be Blade. Blade's got to be my honorable mention. For I remember.
Are you happy now, Stardew? Are you happy we mentioned Blade now?
But Blade, like I think Blade could have easily been my number one on this list as well.
Oh, for sure.
But for like the sake of variety and the way that I wanted to construct my list, just Underworld beating Blade out took Blade completely off the list. Otherwise, it probably would have been one or two.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah, just Wesley Snipes, like the epitome of cool and swagger. I mean, come on.
Donnie Yen was in the second one, right?
Yeah, he was in the Guillermo del Toro one.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, actually, the second one is pretty awesome as well.
Yeah,
But
I even like Blade Trinity.
Yeah?
Yeah, Blade Trinity gave me the single greatest insult I have ever heard in my life from
Was
Ryan
that like
Reynolds.
the Ryan Reynolds one or something?
Yeah, the cock juggling thunder. I'll leave the last word. I know that last word is a term of endearment over here, but I know in some countries it's considered like shooting your dog. But that line from Ryan Reynolds, the cock juggling thunder, C word. Yeah, I mean, without Blade, do we get the MCU? Do you think?
Probably, but
I feel like it kind of set the tone.
I think Blade is in its own world. It's
really. I feel like it kind of set the path for it because you have I think it was either the end of 2 or the end of Trinity where they teased they were going to have Blade versus Morbius.
Right. Actually, did you know Morbius was in the first Blade? Morbius makes an appearance at the very end in an alternative ending for Blade.
Yes, that's one took it. Yeah. Okay, so it's the first one, right?
It's the first one.
Okay.
It's after he fights Steven Dorff, gets up on the roof with can't remember the female lead, and they just talk, and you can see in the distance someone standing on a ledge, long hair flowing in the wind. That's Morbius there.
Okay. See, if they did that now, Wesley Snipes kicking the crap out of Jared Leto, I'd be very happy. But okay.
Wesley Snipes can beat the crap out of anyone.
Well, yeah. Do you know they originally had him to fight Joe? They were going to have him fight Joe Rogan.
In Blade?
No, in real life.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they were setting up a fight. There was going to be like a UFC special event between Wesley Snipes and Joe Rogan, but then Wesley Snipes went to jail for the whole taxes thing, so they were like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that."
Well, Wesley Snipes does almost all of his stunts in Blade as well. I don't know if you can tell he's doing like all of the fighting. You can see it's him.
I think he's like a Kyokushin karate black belt. I think he does ninjutsu as well. He is a martial artist. He does do a lot of his own stuff. I don't know if he does now because he's pretty damn old, but like
Stardew, I have seen Daybreakers. It was my honorable mention for a while, but then I popped the movie on, try to watch it again.
This is another one. What are we doing? The Shadows. Yeah. That's another one. So Blade is your honorable mention. Damn, that's a high bar. Okay, my one is more of a sentimental pick because it is a terrible movie. It is the
Vampire in Brooklyn, or what is it?
Brooklyn? Kind of. To Interview with the Vampire. It is Queen of the Damned.
Oh yeah, that's what Krista was telling me about. I think it was yesterday. He said like Queen of the Damned is like the spiritual sequel.
I mean, in the books, it's the sequel, but in the movies, they just were like, yeah, complete new cast. We're not gonna do Tom Cruise. They picked Stuart Townsend, who was drunk the entire time he was on set. This was before he was meant to be playing Aragorn, and then they pulled him from Aragorn and replaced him with Viggo.
Seriously.
Yeah, like 2 weeks before they were meant to start shooting Fellowship of the Ring, Stuart Townsend was meant to be Aragorn, and then they
Edge of Four.
No, Stuart Townsend, not Stuart
Townsend. Oh, shoot! I heard Stuart. I was like, what?
No, Stuart Townsend.
I heard you wrong.
You heard me way wrong.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Stuart Townsend.
He plays Lestat as a vampire rock star. Who like is Lestat, who's woken up further in the future at the time where like MTV is like super popular, and he basically finds himself as a rock star because he wants to live among the humans. He wants to live like in the light. He wants people to know who he is. Like that's who Lestat has always been. He wants to be known. Mm-hmm. He wants to live with the humans. And then you have Akasha, played by the great Aaliyah. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. her as Akasha was such a crush for me in college.
All right.
Like,
All right.
oh, dude, she just beautiful as Queen Akasha, and a lot of the acting is terrible, like really bad. As I said, Stuart Townsend was drunk on set most of the time. The soundtrack is incredible. It was done by Jonathan Davis of Korn, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, Static X, basically a bunch of 90s new metal bands, like guys like Marilyn Manson, all wrote songs for this movie and performed them. So this is basically like a goth rock masterpiece. And the reason it's so special to me is because in my last year of high school, for a Halloween performance, like a not a play, but like for like drama class, they did for Halloween a stage performance of Queen of the Damned, and they couldn't find anyone in like the drama group who had the kind of voice that could do Lestat. So do you know who ended up playing Lestat in that performance?
It's got to be Mr. Goldie here.
Me. I did it. So a little bit of a...
Did you have long hair back then as well?
Not as long as I do now, but like it was kind of like shoulder length. But yeah, it's so terrible that it's great.
I remember the thing about this movie is I remember seeing the cover of the VHS, and like we had Video Planet, not Blockbuster here, and I just remember going in the store, seeing the cover, and there was like a very, how do I say this right? There was a woman on the cover, and I was like, I want to see that movie. And whenever my dad went in there,
sorry,
like,
was this for Queen of the Damned?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
That was Aaliyah.
I remember like the sexy cover, and I was like, "Wow, that looks cool. I want to see that movie." Usually, my dad picked the movie. He's like, "No, we're not getting that one." But I remember seeing the cover over and over.
There is a scene where Lestat and Queen Akasha are making love in a bathtub full of blood, and "Changing the House of Flies" by Deftones comes on, and to me, that is the sexiest song ever written. And that just came on, and I was just like, I'm in heaven. Like this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. But yeah. If we go to the chat here, what are people saying? There you go, Stardew. Queen of Damned's pretty damn good movie. Christo, know it. You say Christo
that's
was the one that told you?
Yeah, that's his favorite vampire movie, actually. That's his number one. Fright Night was actually I haven't seen the original, but I even enjoyed the Colin Farrell one. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool movie.
Yeah. Cool.
So that leaves us with our last bit, our game that I came up with.
Yes. I know you're excited for this.
I am. We've never tried this before. We're gonna I figured, what should we call this segment? So this pretty much is what we first had initially for the show is every time each of us gets to talk about their view of the week. Can be anything, movie, TV series, even a concert if you want to. But I figured we usually don't have a lot of time. So why not turn this into a 60-second game? You only have 60 seconds to talk about your view of the week. And we figured, okay, we got to call this something. And now I thought of Gone in 60 Seconds. So we're going to call this segment Gone in 60 Seconds, because if you don't finish your story in 60 seconds, this recommendation is gone. We're going to be timing each other. There's only 60 seconds on the table. After that, we're done. We're gone. You can't finish your sentence. You're done on the second.
I originally wanted to call this the 60-second pitch, and then Jarvi was like, that's stupid. Why didn't we just call it Gone in 60 Seconds? I was like, this is why you're the ideas guy.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Or should
I'll go
first?
I'll go first.
All right. So I'm going to give you the cue. You know what it is. When we get to 50 seconds, I'll do this. When we get to 5, I'll count down from this so you'll know. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so my recommendation for the week is a documentary that I got a little bit of an early screening for. It comes out tomorrow. It is the Tony Hawk documentary from HBO, Until the Wheels Fall Off. Tony Hawk, an icon of skateboarding and counterculture, set the whole world on fire with his video games. This goes deep into the man himself, his upbringing in California, how he joined the Bones Brigade, his rise up through skateboarding to become the greatest of all time, the fall in the early 90s when people were just like, skateboarding is not cool anymore, and how he kept consistent to this day. The man is 56 years old and he's still out there skateboarding. He just posted a picture on Instagram the other day that he broke his femur, and then 2 hours later he was standing up on it. 2 hours after a broken femur. That's inhuman. And this is a 50-plus-year-old man. And this is just the life story of an icon. Look up the word icon in the dictionary and you'll see Tony Hawk's name right there.
Boom. There we go. Perfect. Dude, that was like, did you practice this?
No, I didn't.
You were right on time. Tony Hawk documentary. Interesting.
It comes out tomorrow. It's called Until the Wheels Fall Off. It's really, and like... Time's up. It's gone in 60 seconds. I'm doing a bit of show and tell here. Hang on.
That's all right. I'm just... Ooh. There we... What?
Mm-hmm.
Is that his actual signature there?
Mm-hmm. See?
Is that like... That's an original, or did you just get it like that?
Oh, no. I had it signed. I went to a signing.
Seriously? Wow, that is cool. That is really cool.
But okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. So Netflix's The Bubble, a new Netflix movie jam-packed with comedic actors. Everyone hates this movie. Directed by Judd Apatow, people were probably expecting something bigger from the movie, but this was just a ridiculous movie that used COVID and different Hollywood tropes to give us this bonkers story about making a movie during the COVID times. Definitely not as bad as the reviews will have you believe. I gotta say, there are many laugh-out moments in this. Like, seriously, it was definitely nowhere near as good as Tropic Thunder, but this movie tried to do what Tropic Thunder did, took it a step way too much further, and just, I appreciated the swings that this movie took. It's a movie about making a movie, a Jurassic Park sort of made in a really cheesy kind of way, jam-packed with amazing stars. It's not as bad as the reviews are.
Nice. Well done. I'm actually going to go check that out, because if you say it's Tropic Thunder that taken a step too far.
Saying too much though.
that sounds so bad. Like,
it is
not bad as in like terrible to what, like terribly made, but like so bad it'd be like, why have they even made this? That sounds right up my alley. Like I'm gonna go check that out.
You should check it out. So that was gone in 60 seconds. Let us know if you'd like for us to keep going with this segment. I feel like it's kind of fun. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Even if not doing the explaining yourself, doing the Nick Cage, it's pretty cool. I enjoy that.
I mean, selling people on Tony Hawk in 60 seconds is like, I feel like that's pretty easy for me.
Yeah, Tony Hawk doesn't need to be sold.
No,
he sells himself.
He doesn't get recognized a lot, but yeah, I guess Jarvi, unless you got anything else you want to add, we'll start calling it a day.
I think we're done. Next week, it's PLD's turn to pick a movie, pick a topic.
PLD hasn't picked a topic yet. Bless him, he's still out in LA grinding, working for the Schmodown and doing work out there. But he will be back next week. Dad's going to be home, so the kids have lost control of the house.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for him to be back. He's the what is he? The
third leg.
No, we're the third. He's the head.
We're the balls.
We're the balls. He's the dick. We're the balls. Just dragging along.
He's the big swinging dick. We're just dragged along behind him.
we got a next episode that we do. We're not the Scoundrels anymore. We're just the Balls.
We're the balls. We're the
We're the
balls.
Balls. Oh wow.
So yeah, Jarvi, where can the fine folks watching here with us find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Richard-Erik with a K Jarvi, and here next Tuesday, because we're doing the show now on Tuesdays at right around the same time. I don't know what time it is for you. It starts at 10:30 p.m. for me.
For me.
Yeah, but it's 7:30 p.m. No, a.m. ET.
Something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
Use your Googles.
use your Googles. Same time
Googles.
as today. We'll be back next week.
Hey, you guys can find me on Twitter at Matty Gunner, Instagram Matty_Gunner. Where else? My band Shadow of Azrael, our EP Moment of Clarity drops this Friday on all digital service platforms. You guys can check that out. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, special happy birthday to friend of the show Andrew Guy.
Andrew Guy, happy fucking birthday, dude.
It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Drew. POD, we miss you. As much shit as we'd like to give you. Can't wait for you to come back if you're still in the chat. Thanks to everyone here today. We have Christo, Will Harold, Star Drew, Lego. Who else did I see in the chat?
Sari was here.
Sari was here. Sari appearing, legendary appearance. We never really usually get to see Sari in the chat. So Jerry's here as well. So
and
thank you.
We will be talking about Moon Knight next week.
Yes. We will be talking Moon Knight. We did think about doing a Moon Knight review, but with everything with Morbius and like the main topic and everything, I feel like it'd be a bit too much. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back with a normal cast of characters, added POD, and we will see you guys next week. Again, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
PLD, Matty Gunner, Richard-Erik Jarvi, Bidoor. Welcome